Alright, so we got our bad lighting, our bad webcam, mediocre mic, great game, and yeah, I think that's a YouTuber noob starter pack ready to go. Alright, welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. We're going to be playing as France with a few mods turned on. I'll put those on the screen now. Basically, it's the biggest one that is going to affect how we play the game is the France Overhaul mod, which comes with a bunch of changes, both to the military side of things and also the political economic side of the game. So France gets a bunch of different choices now for how they want to play. We're going to go down the interventionist route, like I said. So we're going to go to social reforms, support Blum. Basically, we're going to try building the little entente and using that to kind of set the status quo for Europe and prevent the German Reich from taking over a bunch, and probably Italy too eventually. So this is slightly historical, but you know, it's obviously a break from what actually happened. So basically the goal here is to get Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, the Kingdom of Romania, and Poland into one coalition with us as the leader, rather than going with Britain and having them be the Allies leader, or going with the Soviet Union as a communist, or joining the fascist countries. Because, yeah, I want to play democratic playthrough is the first time through on the channel, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty challenging. We're going to have to defend on the Maginot Line here to defend France proper, and we're going to rush through those I don't know, national focuses? Yeah, not techs, national focuses, and grab us up some allies and help them in their fights. That's where we're going to put our offenses, is in the eastern part of Europe, and try and keep the Germans out of France proper, as well as the Italians maybe if they join the Axis right away. So if you've never played this game, I'm gonna start. This is the scratch. I haven't touched any of the navies, any of the armies, or any of the Air Force. So this episode is gonna be a lot of housekeeping, and I'm gonna try and get through it as fast as I can while explaining my thoughts on the matter at hand. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump into it. We have some technologies to research. I'm just going to go for the basic ones here. We need basic machine tools and some construction bonuses. And let's get electrical engineering. France starts off in a bad way with factories. We only have 30 civilian factories, and let's see how many. We have 6 military factories. And they're kind of already dispersed through a bunch of different things. 5 things to be for, you know, what we have on our template here. So we have to get our factories up right away. So we're going to try and get as many building bonuses as we can. We're also playing Road to 56. So there's, I believe that comes with the national characters down here. So there's more options for your country. And yeah, all right. And, you know, longer effects such as, you know, states mandate. I think there's women's rights, yeah, legal status of women, social orders, justification of war, all those sorts of things to change, which give different bonuses and hindrances all around. So the first one we really have to go for is this tools modernization. We get 2 industry researches for half off, so that's pretty great. All right, our civilian factories, what I usually do is when you click on this, it can give you like a brief, you know, example. You have 1 civilian factory here. I like to bump that up to half first, and then do some military factories there just to round it out. So let's do that. 1 more in Centre. 2 more. Okay, let's build up this a little bit. That way, we are always increasing our ability to build more factories by having more civilian factories. But we're also having a few more military factories as we go along. Okay, so we'll just get a couple more. What do we have here? Military factories. So you need 1 civilian factory and 2 military factories. Okay, and I am gonna just do these ones with 0. We're gonna boost those up, and that's pretty sad. So we'll boost those. And let's get 1 more here in Poitou, and 1 in Aquitaine. Alright, we have some outdated equipment being made, and that's our submarine. So we're going to take that out to 1. It's almost all the way built, so we'll just leave it there, and we'll get 3 3 dockyards ready, and we'll probably put that into a convoy building when we're ready. Okay, so we have some trade things to sort out here. What is it? Oil and tungsten. Tungsten, Portugal, thank you. And oil, United States. Thanks a bunch. Okay, so we can get rid of that one. So there's going to be a little bit of restructuring here with the Navy and the Army. Let's start with the Navy. Let's get that out of the way. All right, we kind of want... I just want these guys to come down here. I'm going to snatch up everything that's not a submarine and get them going over to Brest so we can reorganize our Navy. We have some ships in the south, and we have some ships in Tunisia. Alright, I don't think we want the subs, so let's just send everything else there. We have some in Syria. Give me those subs. Thank you. And these are subs, so we're going to actually... I'm going to send them to the south of France here. I'm going to have two submarine bases. One is going to be in Calais, out of Calais, and the other is going to be from Provence. So, these guys moving? They are not. We need to get those moving up here as well. We also have some ships down here in Dakar. I think they're, yeah, all cruisers, so let's get them over here. Now, it's great that we have like a worldwide empire, but on the other hand, it's a little tough to manage just because you gotta kind of know where everything is. France also starts off with some ships over here, some cruisers it looks like. Alright, let's put them over here. Okay, great. So that's most of our Navy taken care of. That's pretty easy. Now we'll take care of the planes. Yep, thank you. Alright, let's get rid of those wings in Tunisia. Get rid of all of these wings. Alright, just for better organization. Don't really want any torpedo bombers there. More fighters or medium bombers. We're going to get them a little closer to the Maginot Line. Like I said, we're going to be defending that, so we want air coverage and air support there as best we can have it. I think that's it for planes. We only have some in Tunisia and metropolitan France. So let's get right here. We need a wing of... I don't want that. We need a wing of fighters. I'm going to actually take that down to 200. Okay. And here, I'm going to have a group of bombers. So, unfortunately, we got to rely on some of our interwar bombers, some of those bomber ones, which is kind of lame, but no big deal. Alright, and I'm actually going to put a wing of fighters there as well. Let's do another 200. And actually, one of the first techs that I'm going to go for that's not an industrial tech or an infantry tech is the fighter, because we're going to need that pretty fast. Up here, I'm going to put some naval bombers. Yep, good to go. Okay, and I'm just going to check on this wing here. 25 fighters, 20 bombers. That sounds fine. Can swing with that. Okay, and I think that actually takes care of our Air Force as well. Now, the armies. Okay, so, like I said, Maginot Line. It's going to be huge for us. And also the... it's actually called the Maginot Line also along the Alpine border here with Italy. So we're going to be depending on that. But until we do that, we do have to defend both our Belgium border in case Germany tries to blitz us. And, you know, along our Italian border here. Which we'll always have to have on the Italian border. Okay, but the great thing with this strategy of trying to get the little Entente going is if the AI doesn't focus, Germany and Italy don't focus on creating, you know, a strong Axis force that's ready to go through Belgium right away, then that gives you a little time to sort of catch them off guard, right? If Germany pretty early will get the, you know, Sudetenland things, whether or not they're going to necessarily go straight through Belgium, or around Maginot, I think it's called for the Germans. Let's take a look at that. Their national focus being, let's see, demand Sudetenland, around Maginot. So it's not terribly far away if they were to rush that. But before that, they'll get Czechoslovakia. So we have to beat them to the punch, get Czechoslovakia on our side, and then they're not going to have the technology yet to go around the Maginot. Sorry, I keep saying technology. I mean national focus. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Okay, so we have a bunch of unassigned divisions, and yeah, let's get that taken care of. So we have, this is the only Alpine troops that doesn't start off on the Alpine border. We're gonna basically just leave one in every territory there. So let's get these guys up here as well. And we're mostly just gonna have infantry along the Maginot here. Also, it does bear speaking about the Brigade de Chars du Combat is combat. I'm not sure if they pronounce the T. That one. It's kind of a different unit here. I like to keep the template for when we get heavy tanks or medium tanks, but we don't really want any of that. So we need to find those, which I believe is, nope, that's the only one that I was wrong about. Okay, this one and this one. I think we have one here. Yep. And here. And there's 5 of them, I believe. So there we go. And we'll just get these changed over to the light mechanized division. And then, yep, that'll tell you that you've got them all switched over correctly. Okay, now when it comes to the cavalry, I'm just going to scoop those up. And let's see, where's the last one? Right here, here we go. I'm just going to scoop them up. They're going to be on garrison duty. I'm going to, later in the game, if we have the time for it, I'll attach some MP divisions to them. Because we might have to take out this part of Austria and garrison that. We'll see what happens. We don't know quite yet, but we know that we'll need a garrison eventually. Okay, now with that done, I'm going to scoop up some more infantry. Not all of them, but most of them. Okay. And I think that'll do it for us. We're going to throw them up here. And I'm actually going to let the timer start going. We're going to get a couple Alpine troops going. 3 of them. Let's do that. We'll have them train here in the Alps. And, oh, what else do we need? Let's grab another one of these. 2 of them. We'll just set those in Central Sud. And let's do some more infantry divisions. 5 of them to be precise. And I'll have them in Central Sud OC. Okay, low manpower, thanks for the warning. Alright, once those guys get moving, once all our infantry moves up there, I should say, then we'll be good to start assigning groups. I'm going to grab up these mechanized and motorized divisions and throw them on the Belgian border. So, that's where they're going to go. Let's boost up the speed a little bit, we don't need it so slow. Alright, and I'm actually going to throw them, this mechanized division, over there as well. Very low strength on those. Yeah. Oh geez, FT-17s. The World War I light tank that kind of was a huge deal. Not so much in the Second World War though. Alright. So we do have some subs here, let's combine those. And this fleet, we're going to grab up these subs and have them come up here. The other 20, let's see. Looks like we don't have any subs left, so let's combine all these up. Yep, no subs. Great. Okay, so it looks like we have everybody. I'm going to pause it real quick. We have everybody in metropolitan France on a border, right? Either with Belgium, Germany, or Italy. We don't really need to worry about the Spanish one just yet. Depends on if the Nationalists win, which they usually do. But we don't, it's not our primary concern at this moment in time. Alright, so I'm going to grab up these, and I said I wanted a couple infantry divisions, so let's grab those. Let's just take those, leave the reserves there. Okay, this is going to be our first army, and this is going to be the blue army. And we're going to put, I like putting Biot in command, and their front is going to be the Belgian border. Alright, about to remind him to not forget the Ardennes. Alright, then we want to grab these guys, everyone on the Maginot line, or just about, so that's infantry. We're going to make these guys the White Army, and we're going to put a defensive general in command. So let's get these ordered by skill. Weygand. Yeah, it's got the defensive doctrine plus 30% for max entrenchment, which is pretty great for the Maginot Line. So we're going to grab that up. And their front is going to be with Germany. Why won't you let me do that differently? Okay, that's weird. There we go. Okay, they have the Maginot Line. Very well. And then these guys, the smallest army is going to be the Red Army, which we're going to put... one great thing about the mod is the addition of admirals and generals. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that comes for France that's really great. Different, you know, tank designers, different aircraft designers, different ship designers, different industry concerns. So one of those guys that is added is this mountaineer, General René Orly. So we're going to put him in command of this, and then this is going to be our Red Army. And they're going to put them on the border with Italy. Just enough divisions to cover that one for one. Alright, let's get these. There we go, 20 ships. Okay, and if you notice what I did there is I just did the French flag for army colors, because I'm a big nerd. Alright, then lastly, I am going to throw these guys into their own little thing just to ruin my whole setup here. We'll just put them purple. Why not? They don't need a general. And let's garrison here, and here, and here, and here. Okay. I'm not going to add very much stuff to them for a while, so it's kind of a bit much to tell that many divisions, but whatever. Okay, now let's reorganize Africa. I've got quite a few divisions here where I kind of already want them. Take this infantry division. I'll take 3 of these guys. So, yeah, leave them. And this guy. And these 2. And this guy. And these 3. And we're going to have them come over to... Which place should we have them go to? Let's just have them go right here. Because I'm going to put them on the border with Libya. Okay. And I think actually that was really dumb of me to not... Yeah, bummer. Nope, not you, you. And these guys, and these guys, and these guys, okay. And we're going to do a new theater for them. I'm going to put a Desert Fox in command of them. Jean-Henri Gouraud. Okay, great, we just had our sub finish. Let's see, let's throw one more into the new subs. I'm going to add a few. And build ships, convoys. Let's get them convoys going. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna make this group, let's make them kind of this brownish color maybe? A little lighter for the sands of the Libyan desert. Alright. And then I'll scoop up this guy, I'll put him right here. And also this cavalry, and this infantry, and this infantry. We're going to make a secondary garrison for Africa. So I'm going to guard that. I need to guard all these naval bases here in the north. And I hope that didn't... Okay. Yeah, okay, we have our timer going down, aren't we? Alright, this army's line is going to be right here. Now, I usually send them down here, but then, you know, reorganize them to go into Yugoslavia to help them out along this river here. I'm not sure what the name of the river is. It'd be great if you told me. But whatever this river is, I like to send them here and kind of defend against German invasions across that river. So that's probably what'll happen this time as well. I don't see it happening any differently. Okay, so we have 14 subs here and 10 here. I'm gonna send these 10 here. Send these 14 to the north. Okay, yeah. A little lopsided in the south. That's okay. We'll have more resources in the north anyways. We'll have our fleets up there, as well as some naval bombers, so... Okay. Oh, shoot. I kind of backed that. I'll just explain it real quick. The first event for France with this mod is that Pierre Laval, who was our Prime Minister, has been forced to resign, mostly because he was of his workings with Italy on their Italian invasion. Or I'm sorry, Italy on their Italian invasion, on their Ethiopian invasion, kind of helping them, you know, not necessarily helping them, but being like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. We don't really care about them. I am going to send the Syrian mandate back over to North Africa and help them out. And then we do have one last front, actually. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not done. We need these guys to go here as well. I'm not going to defend these southern ports. We're going to kind of rely on the United Kingdom for that. But I am going to grab up my division here in Madagascar. Excuse me. And we're going to have them go to Saigon. I'm going to grab up these. And these guys. We're going to make a new theater. And we're going to name... who are we going to put over here? I think historically, towards the end of the war, they sent back... Who was it? Jean de Lettre de Tassigny. So we're going to make him the commander. And I'm going to make this group... they're going to be the Black Army for rubber. Alright. So get these guys up front assigned. If you're familiar with French Indochina at all, or Michelin or anything like that, or even Hearts of Iron 3, there's... You know, it's a big deal that you get great rubber supply from French Indochina. Alright, so I think that's it. I think that's our armies organized in Africa, Asia, and metropolitan France. We don't have anything in our South American holding, or in our Caribbean islands, or in Saint-Pierre et Martinique. Excuse me. Alright. So, I think that leaves us with, what do we have unassigned here? Okay, these guys. We're going to assign them to the Libyan Desert Army. And as you can see, we've got tons of reservists in this army. I don't think there's any regularly trained troops, which is kind of a bummer. But we'll deal with that when time comes. Okay, I am going to look at our blue army here. Let's see what we got. Got a lot of green units, mostly because we just changed them over. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, it is because we just changed them over. So let's look at our logistics, how much we have stuff to supply. So we need 336 more guns, 32,000 infantry equipment, which is crazy, and 1,300 more trucks, and 77 support equipment. Not so bad on that one. But like I said, we only have 6 military factories, so we really need to get hammering on that. As far as what we need to focus on now, we're just going to kind of run out the clock on this national focus and these research because there's not too much left for us to do in this time of peace. So let's get the timer going a little faster. We're going to take it to speed 5. And let's see, I think we got some more ships here. Alright, so in 1936, France recovers slowly from the economic crisis that hurt the country in 1931. The unstable political situation, the high amount of unemployment, and the public deficit are already challenging for the government. Unfortunately, the fast deflation caused a franc overestimate. I like that because it's also like a franc overestimate. I don't know. Silly. It provokes an economic crisis and 2/3 of exports collapse. With the general capital evasion and the resistance of some employers, the situation is alarming, and the disillusionment of the working class for the politics is already huge. So a slight thing, I really love this mod. I really love what it does for France, and if you're interested in playing as France. But one thing is, it is by a French speaker, so English being a second language, I assume. There is some translation errors, so excuse me if I stumble over these from time to time. But I think it's a beautiful mod, and I'm super glad that he took the time to do it. He or she took the time to do it. So yeah, super pumped. All right, here we go. Back at it. Let that time fly. Oh, let's assign some naval commanders here. Darlan as the main fleet commander. And France with this mod also gets another Sea Wolf. So let's put our... I like to imagine the Jean Piasteva up north here. Why? Just because Um, I don't know. I actually don't have a good reason for that. Alright, let's get these in one group and put Jean Ducru there. Alright, I think these guys are good. Yep. These guys have command. Oh, hey, there we go. National focus completed. So great. That gives us 2 times half off industrial technologies. So that's great. Alright, remilitarization of the Rhineland. Several German divisions recently advanced into the Rhineland, marking the first time since the end of the Great War that Germany has forces positioned west of the Rhine. So if you noticed earlier, there was kind of this blinking red along this area here. That's gone now. They have... That just meant that Germany couldn't have any military divisions there, or forts or anything. This is a clear violation of the Versailles Treaty, under which Germany is forbidden from militarizing the region. Unless we issue an ultimatum demanding their withdrawal, the treaty will not be enforced. Okay, so we have 2 options here. We can start a big harumph right now, but unfortunately, the biggest thing that stinks about that is we get a communist civil war. So that's not going to put us in a good place. We don't have the resources for a civil war right now, so we're not going to do that. I don't know if there's ever a time when you're like, yeah, I guess we have enough resources for a civil war, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do a diplomatic objection, which just lowers our relations with Germany, which we all kind of know it's never going to be good anyways. All right, so this is sort of a difficult path. The first thing I like to do is to shoot down here to French intervention as quickly as possible, in the hopes that we can send some divisions to the Spanish Civil War. Now, that said, it's really tempting to get the more civilian factories over here and the extra research slot, as well as the economic reforms and rearmament. I will say, this national focus here, support Blom, it does require 40% national unity, which we have, but we also have a disjointed government, so we lose 10%. That means we have to do some technologies that kind of up that. Those include social reforms will give us 5. That's pretty great, but we're still 5 short. And decrease unemployment will give us 3, and economic reforms will also give us 3. So I'm going to have to grab these 2 at some point. It's just what order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab legislative action, and then I'm going to grab social reforms. Then I'm going to come to decrease unemployment, economic reforms, support Blum. In my mind, that is a pretty good way to go about it. That way you have support Blum ready when you have that national unity ready to go, and you can just jump right into it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do legislative action, and that'll take care of it. I think we got some technologies coming up. 26 days. Oop. All right, they just moved some troops in there. It says we must see to our border defenses if you play as France. So, as the British, I think it says something about just it's their own backyard, something like that. All right, well, I think it's getting pretty close to a half hour here, so let's just give all of our armies some offensive lines, and then we'll call it an episode. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So let's just do it. Oh, okay. Let's get all of this army. There we go. Thank you very much. Where are these other guys at? Oh, right there. Oh. Oh no! Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. So we already have the Spanish Civil War. Not super, unusual or anything, but sometimes I do hope, that they wait a little bit so you have some more of your national focuses down. Unfortunately, we don't. So the likelihood that we're going to be taking place in this as democratic France is pretty low. So that's interesting. All right. We also have a technology slot open. And yeah. Okay. Just real quick, I am going to give these guys a line down the desert. I think I missed something there. Yes, I did. Like how you have to get right on it for some reason. Okay. There we go. Okay, great. And just to give these guys a playing bonus, I doubt we'll ever use this line, but we're going to go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories. With only 7 divisions, that's asking a lot. I mean, there's only 1 division there now, but It's probably because they're fighting in Ethiopia. Alright, I'm going to give these guys the line of taking everything south of the Rhine and to the east of whatever this river is. I'm not sure what that is. Alright, and then the blue army. Let's just give them that line, I suppose. Alright, well, that's the time for this episode. We'll see you in the next one. And I think, just to give you some expectations for what we're going to do, we're going to choose some new technologies, of course. We're going to train up some new divisions, get some more factories built, get some more technologies done, make a big decision here for our first political power event. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this time. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great one.